Hey there, Internet. It's me, Broken Terrain, and I'm doing something different in this video today. I'm making this adorable little coin purse dragon prop. Let's do it right after the drop. Hey there, this is one of those crafts that it's kind of dictated by the items you pick up. My wife got this fun little sack of skeletal animals. There's one really cool dragon skull in there that is absolutely perfect for terrain, and then there's these two cute little skeleton skull, and I'm going to use this guy here. And I found these coins at the Walmart. They went on sale for $1.10. 2 packages. They seem to be Chinese coins. Maybe they're Chinese New Year coins, I don't know, but it led to this idea here. Just a tiny little dragon sitting on his little hoard of gold coins, and he could fit into your coin purse. Maybe he protects your money, maybe he snaps your finger every time you try to spend one of his one of his gold coins. I thought that'd be fun and cute and a neat little prop for the table. You could introduce your group to this cute little coin purse dragon, and the person whose coin purse it decides to call home, you could hand over the prop, and well, maybe they'll like it. Maybe they won't. This is quite the different take on crafting, at least for this channel. So let's get to it. I recently picked up some 2-inch XPS foam. I'm really excited on what the future holds in store for it. And using the head that I've chosen, I kind of begin, I get some measurements visually, and then I begin to cut and sculpt out of this 2-inch foam. And I find that it's just too big, too tall. And so using the head as scale, I'll go back in and chop a bit of the top off and begin to form and smooth out the block, so that I can really start to get this coin purse dragon to begin coming to life. I want it to be really cute and adorable. The idea or concept is this very cute, like puppy or kitten type creature or dragon, and it nestles in your coin pouch or coin purse, and always has its own opinion on how you should be spending that money. Usually it's way more into treats and food for itself, and less inclined to let you spend money on potions and armor and weapons. It much prefers tasty food and drink and nice lodgings. The idea or concept being that at first you find the dragon incredibly adorable and cute and happy to have it around, and then as time goes on, you find out it's stealing gold coins and adding them to its purse to increase its ever-growing hoard of gold. And the other members of your party find out that their coin purses are in fact where it ends up getting a lot of its gold from. I thought it'd be a fun little creature to introduce, make a little drama, either amongst the party themselves or with other people whose gold coins end up going missing. Much like toy breeds of dogs today, Chihuahuas, for example, the coin purse dragon was bred by wealthy royalty and magic users as a status symbol back in the day. They could literally say that they had a dragon in their purse. That's how wealthy, influential, and powerful they were. And although that culture has long since passed from the world, its breed of coin purse dragons still persists. Now that I've got the body and the basic shape completed, it's time to work a little bit on that skull. You can see the skull has no nose, and that's correct. Skulls should not have a nose, but instead just an empty nasal cavity. So I'm going to glue a chunk of XPS foam on. This is a bit too large, And so through trial and error, I'm going to carve it down a little bit and shape it with my X-Acto knife, create something that looks as though it belongs on a dragon's nose. And you can see the shape's starting to look really good. And combined with the head on the rounded out body, I think we're getting close to what we're looking for. Let's keep it up. We're going to get there. Next, I cut the ears off of this cat mouse skull and I flip them backwards and glue them on to mimic the look of horns. And now it's time to add a little texture and cover this skull and body. I'm going to go back to the paper mache. It worked so well for my Loth, the Spider Queen thorax or abdomen I did, that I feel like it's the perfect thing for this project here. So I'm going to mix some white PVA glue in with some water. I'm going to combine that with cut strips of paper towel. And I'm just going to begin wrapping the skull and laying down the paper towel where there would be some skin. I'm going to leave the teeth uncovered and try to lay it down along the edge of the gum there and allow this really cool paper texture to be kind of like an underlaid texture for my little coin purse dragon. I end up tearing the strips into thirds to make them a little more easy to manage and wrap. And it does take a little bit of time, but ultimately it turns out fairly good, and I'm really happy with the results. Of course, don't forget, we've got to do the body as well. We want to cover all the foam and the rough cuts with this same paper towel texture. It gives a nice, like a leathery skin look, and I'm pretty happy with it. And before I did this, I used the skull for size, and I dropped some globs of hot glue from a hot glue gun down on some wax paper, and these are going to be my eyeballs for my little dragon. I do several trying to get a nice sized pupil or eyeball, and then I try to match it. And here you can see the paper mache is dried. I have my covered little skull. He's got a great little grin and a nice texture for his skin. I'm going to glue the eyeballs in and continue with the build. Now I'm fairly happy with the texture that the paper towel gave me and I achieved with the paper mache, but I'm not completely in love or sold on it. So I'm going to go back in with my hot glue gun and lay down some texture using the hot glue. I'm going to create kind of the pattern or lines of like a lizard or reptile and try to enhance the look, make it look a little more dragon-like. I don't do a perfect job, but I am ultimately pretty happy with how this turns out. The dragon has a really cool feel, and you can definitely get the sense of plating or a leathery skin, or the combination here too for this cute little dragon. Of course, I've also got to do the same thing, texturing the body as well. I start by going down the length of the spine, using the hot glue tip to create some texture and blend it into the body. And then ultimately I'll go back in and just create all kinds of different plating and texture with the hot glue gun. I don't show all of it here because, well, it took a while and it was hard to do on camera. But ultimately I'm pretty pleased with it. It did get a little sloppy at times, but overall it looks really good and really enhances the realism of my tiny little coin purse dragon. Here it is so far, and I'm falling in love with it. He's such a cutie. Time to put in some claws. I don't want big, nasty, massive claws because, again, I feel like these dragons were bred to be little companions and no one wants them to be super dangerous. So I decided to do tiny little claws. I'm going to do 4 claws in each paw, and I draw or sketch out a quick sections on the paw so I can space them out evenly. And then I'm going to stab in with a toothpick, hot glue it in, and then trim the edge going vertical with my snips. This is going to pinch the toothpick vertically and then at a slight angle, and it creates a fantastic looking little claw for his tiny little dragon paw. It's absolutely adorable. So far, mission accomplished. I feel like I'm creating just the cutest little guy. And I want him to have some wings. So I go to the other skeleton in the pack, the little bat here. Sorry, fella, I need your wings. I trim both off, remove the rings. I'm going to hot glue the wing pieces together. And then I'll lay them down against my coin purse dragon for some size and shape. Ultimately, they're too big as is, so I trim them down just a bit so that I can glue them along the back. This is, of course, after I reinforce the joints with some hot glue. I'm going to do my same paper mache trick, laying down a sheet of paper in between the ribs of the wing, and then I'm going to go in and decorate and reinforce those ribs with some more hot glue. Ultimately, I feel like the wings are the weakest part of my build, but I do like them. I like the little guy with his little wings, and if I had it to do over again, I think I'd be less likely to use the pre-made wings from this pack, and I would probably make wings from scratch. Anyway, he's all done, and it's time to get some prime on him. I do a little Zenithal, so I hit him with some black spray primer, and then I go in and dust him across the top with some white for some natural lighting effect. And boy, oh boy, he's absolutely adorable. I love the way he looks. Here's a dragonfly glaze that I've been chomping at the bit to find a use for. It does a really cool purple to blue to green color change with a glittery effect. And I thought, man, that would look really cool on this little guy. But a full coat later, and he ends up being like sparkly gray. It just doesn't work. Yeah. Sorry. I really liked the idea of a really dynamic color, shifty color, but it didn't work. And so while it dried, I opened up my coins, started stacking them, cleaning them up a little bit, and arranging them so that I knew how he was going to sit upon the coins when it was done. Once that dragonfly glaze was dry, it was time to paint over it. I go to my flag red and just paint the whole little guy, all his dragon skin there in this red, and I like him so much better. I go back with the flamenco red that I love so much and give the tops of him a nice paint with the flamenco red. It's extremely subtle, the difference between the flamenco and the flag red, and hopefully it's translating really well on camera. It looked amazing, and I did only the top parts of the scales and such, using my hot glue texture work as a basis for where I laid that red down. Then I hit the gums with a little pink. I hit the bottom with the king's gold. I like my dragons with that yellow belly. And even though you won't see much of it, I thought I'd give his bottom a paint of that king's gold anyway, getting under the jaw, under the belly, under his little dragon arms and limbs there, just so that the gold's peeking out. And again, I want him to be cute and adorable, and I want ladies to love him. So I painted his horns and claws milk chocolate, because who doesn't love milk chocolate? I know I certainly do. Turn to light buttermilk. Let's get those teeth whitened. And I'm going to paint the eyes. Probably shouldn't have painted the eyes because I'm still going to hit him with a wash, and I'll have to repaint them later, but hey, who cares? I'll do those eyes a couple of times. Here's where I screw the project up. I used my homemade black wash. Boy, oh boy, did it come out dark. So much darker than I wanted. Yeah. I almost wish I hadn't used the wash, or maybe a brown wash instead. I end up going back with a flag red and trying to pull back some of that red color. It works a bit. He's ultimately a little darker than I had anticipated, but I think the dry brush does the trick. Reddens him back up a bit, and he's got a nice, interesting multi-tone skin color. So I'm fairly happy. Back to touching up the white on the teeth, the white on the eyes. I'm so happy. boy, he's looking adorable. Now it's time to give him this big, beautiful puppy dog eyes. I'm going with my Award Blue, and I'm gonna paint a smaller circle within the larger circle of the eye, kind of looking up and forward. The hardest part was to match the other side, the size and shape of the first. Then once the blue is dry, I go back in with a black and leave just a ring of blue on the outside. Look at that cute little smile. Come on, does this guy not warm your heart? You gotta love him until he starts stealing all the gold, right? Couple little dashes of white for some twinkly eye effect. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. An attempt was made. I'm fairly happy with him. He looks pretty cute. There you go. And I get the idea to use my UV resin. I'm going to coat the eyes, and this is going to give his eyes a nice, wonderful, glossy, glassy look, which is really what I'm going for. So once I coat those eyes, I'm going to use my UV light, harden that resin up. Perfect. Is he looking cute and adorable? Would you keep him around? Even if he's a thief? There we go. Nice and dry and very cute. Well done, sir. Here's some shots of this cute little fella before I set him on his gold pile. Here we go. The gold, hot glued and arranged in a pile. I think I've got a layer of 7 coins, then 6, and then 5. No. 9, then 6 and 5. I use all 20 coins, 10 in each pack. Hot glue him down. Now he's sitting on his little gold hoard. I love him. And some beauty shots. Fantastic. I know this is quite a different craft, but hey, bear with me. I like to flex my creative muscles every once in a while and do crazy things. I hope you like it. I enjoyed making it. If you did like it, smash that like button. Share this video with friends and family. If you want to see more videos, all kinds of crazy content, smash that subscribe button so you get every single one. If you want a little stat block for this fella, I will include a link in the description where you can download a little character sheet for him. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like each other, love each other, and craft on.